Praise the Lord for that. Jeremiah chapter 32 and verse 6. If you can go ahead and stand for the reading of God's word. If you can't, that's okay. Jeremiah chapter 32 and verse 6. Pastor on his anniversary reminds me of this man that was celebrating his 50th anniversary. And they asked him, how'd you have such a successful marriage? And he said, well, in our honeymoon, I took her to the nicest location. And he said, we went to, I forget, the Bahamas, and took her there, and now today for our 50th, I'm going to go pick her up. But I don't know. But Jeremiah chapter 32, verse 6, it says, And Jeremiah said, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Behold, Hanamel, the son of Shallum, thine uncle, shall come unto thee, saying, Buy thee my field that is in Anathoth, for the right of redemption is thine to buy it. So Hanamel, mine uncle's son, came to me in the court of the prison according to the word of the Lord, and said unto me, Buy my field, I pray thee, that is in Anathoth, which is in the country of Benjamin, for the right of inheritance is thine, and the redemption is thine. Buy it for thyself. Then I knew that this was the word of the Lord. And let's pray. Dear Lord, I thank you so much for this great honor to preach your word. Lord, I thank you so much for Lighthouse Baptist Church. And Lord, what a blessing it's been for me and my wife and family to get to be here. Lord, just such an encouragement. We thank you and we praise you that you've left your remnant all across this world of those that are still serving you no matter what the cost. Lord, we thank you so much for it. Lord, just pray now as I preach, you fill me with your power. You help me say what you want, nothing else. Lord, you know my desire is to help those that need it. Lord, I pray that if there's someone here that's never been saved, that today would be the day of their salvation. And Lord, for those of us that are saved, I pray that you to use this message to encourage those hearts that need encouragement, comfort those hearts that need comfort, and convict those hearts that need conviction. But most importantly, that you'd be honored and glorified with everything I say in your name. Amen. And you can be seated. Jeremiah chapter 32, in verse 6, we see that Jeremiah is in prison. And the reason why he's in prison is nothing because he didn't do anything wrong. In fact, because he was serving the Lord. He was being persecuted for Christ's sake. Because he was preaching the unpopular message. And that message was God's judgment is going to come. And God's going to send us into captivity. We're going to go have to serve a foreign nation. We're going to be put in bonds, and we're going to be put in chains, and we're going to have to serve this nation for 70 years, where all the other prophets were preaching, no, God's going to save us, God's going to protect us. But Jeremiah had to preach, no, we've broken God's laws, we've gone against him, and so we deserve this punishment, and God's going to send us into captivity. So we see that they put him in prison. And while he's in prison, God tells him, he says, behold, your cousin's about to come, and your cousin's going to try to sell you his piece of land, piece of property. And he says, because the right of inheritance belongs to you. Now, as Jeremiah is the one preaching that God's captivity is going to come and the land is going to lay desolate for 70 years, and that's just about to happen, we see that actually happens in Jeremiah chapter 34, just 2 chapters later. He's the one preaching that this land is about to be desolate. Now, in the stock market, they teach you that you're supposed to invest right when it's low and sell when it's high. That you're supposed to ride the roller coaster, they say. But when would be the worst time to buy a piece of property? Right before the crash. Right before everything's about to happen. This is right before everything, right before the land's about to sit desolate for 70 years. 70 years, Jeremiah's probably going to be dead. Why would God want him to buy this piece of property that's not going to be worth anything in his life, not going to amount to anything? And I've come to realize that in the will of God, God's going to tell us, he never tells us to do something that's possible for us to do. He's only going to tell us to do impossible things. Why? Because he wants to do it through us. And sometimes God's will for our life doesn't make sense. And we say, Lord, that can't be your will. Lord, this is crazy. Lord, why are you putting me through this? Why are you causing the storms to come? Why are you having all this happen to me? I want you to notice Jeremiah could have asked that too. Jeremiah served God. Jeremiah was faithful. Jeremiah was the only one in his day continuing in the work of God, preaching what God wanted him to preach. But he too was going to go through captivity. He too was going to have to endure that time, that trying sometimes we can look around, we can say, Lord, I'm the one serving you. Lord, I'm the one doing right. Lord, I'm the one that's staying faithful. Why are you letting this happen to me? Sometimes God's will for our life doesn't make sense. And there's been times in my life where I'm the type that I'll go, if I think something's God's will, I'm going to go at it full-hearted. I'm not going to let anything stand in my way. If there's a brick wall, I'm going to knock it down. If there's whatever it is standing in my way, I'm going to go full force. But sometimes I've found that there's a wall that I can't break. There's a path that I can't take. Sometimes there's things that get in my way that I can't control. And sometimes in our life when we're stopped by uncontrollable circumstances, it's simply because there's someone we can't fight, and that's God. Yes, Satan can stand in our way, and with God's power we can see Satan defeated. This world can get in our way, and with God's power we can see this world defeated. Our flesh many times gets in our way. With God's power we can see our flesh defeated. But when God gets in our way, that's when we have to take a step back and just say, Lord, thy will be done. Sometimes we have desires that we want to do for him just for a silly circumstance. When me and my wife got married, we moved up to be with her family for a year. We were looking for a place to rent for that year. And we were praying, Lord, give us the place you want us to rent. And there was this apartment that it was compared to everything else, it was such a good deal. And I thought, this has to be it. This is the place. But we were still praying, Lord, if you want us to rent it, open it up. If you don't want us to rent it, close it. And I remember some things just being confusing, and we had to get through some things. And it came down to the very last day where we had to get some paperwork in. It was a Saturday, and I had to go to my job to get a letter saying that I worked there for the apartment. And so my job closed about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So I was on a time schedule. So I got up that morning real early, went out, and before I got into my car, I saw my car had a flat tire. And I had been working so much for that apartment, trying to get it done when it needed to be done. And when I saw that flat tire, the Holy Spirit said, is that a closed door? Is that closed enough for you? You know, sometimes we fight and we're doing what we think is God's will. We got to take a step back every time trials come, every time storms come, and say, Lord, is this your will? Lord, is this still what you want me to do? God wants us to be yielded every single day to what he wants us to do. And in Jeremiah chapter 9, God tells them an impossible thing: buy this land, something that doesn't make sense. Buy this piece of property that's going to sit desolate for 70 years. I want you to buy it. And when Jeremiah's sitting in prison, we think, what's the use? There's been people I've met, and here recently, we've met quite a few people, but we all go through trials. We all have storms. And in January, I met this man that had been to prison. He was born into a Christian family. He was saved at an early age. He was even a missionary kid for 3 years. And he said whenever he left home, he was bitter against his parents, and he left the will of God. He found himself in the wrong crowd and in the wrong circumstances, and he got a life sentence on his head. And after 26 years, they let him out of prison, and I asked him why. He said, I don't know, only by the grace of God. But we talked for 4 hours, and all through all the stories he was telling, how he described prison, he described it as hell on earth. He said, I didn't know if I was going to make it another day. He said, every morning I would wake up, and 2 questions would be on my mind. One, the first one was, am I going to have to kill someone today? Second one was, is it going to be a guard or an inmate? He was saying just out of self-defense. He didn't know whose life he would have to take. And he described it so horrible. And he said, no one was my friend. I learned that. But over and over again, while we were talking, he kept on saying, God is so good. God is so generous to us. We don't deserve any of his blessings. And I asked him, well, what kept you faithful all those years being put in prison, all those years, what kept you faithful to God? And he said, I'll admit, sometimes my faith did waver, sometimes that I didn't know if I believed in God or not. But he said the thing that kept me believing, the thing that kept me faithful was the principles that I was taught as a child. I couldn't get away from them. Those principles he was taught were from the Word of God, God's promises. As a missionary kid, I got to see my dad go through so much because of the will of God. He went over to the former Soviet Union right after the walls came down, and the times he had his life threatened, growing up as a child over there, you thought that was all normal. It wasn't until I'd come over here and think, oh wow, people don't live like this. But people don't lock their cars all the time, and you're coming over here. That didn't make sense to me. Why aren't you locking your cars? But over there, Dad, the many times he had his life threatened for the cause of Christ by mafia. He had his rib broken by mafia, and he served God faithfully for 27 years. Those first 5 years, right when communism fell, there'd be times he'd go out into the street corner with some teams, and he'd yell, "I'm an American," and thousands of people would come around. They'd give out Bibles. They'd preach the gospel. They saw many people saved. He said in those first 5 years, he counted over 7,000 souls that were led personally, and those were souls that individually they got to talk to. Over 7,000 in just those 5 years. And after those 5 years, how the over there in Europe, they started getting more closed to the gospel, started becoming more cold. They had their religion. And I grew up over in Ukraine, where I remember passing out Bibles, passing out tracts, so many people wrinkling them up, throwing them on the ground, throwing them in the trash. But still, my dad served God faithfully, and still he kept at it, and with all his physical complications because of the will of God. And sometimes now, as he has been pastor in our home church for 6 years, now he's a pastor emeritus. And the things that have happened to him in his later years, and his 5 sons, every single one of us have broken his heart. And sometimes I've prayed, Lord, my parents don't deserve that. They don't. They deserve they deserve everything. But sometimes we think, Lord, I'm serving you, and I don't deserve this. I deserve prosperity. I deserve your goodness. But then in Jeremiah, we see he went through, we call him the weeping prophet. He was so faithful all his life. And in Lamentations chapter 3, you can read that chapter, and he talks about, he's praying to God. He's saying, Lord, thou hast broken my bones. Thou hast set me about with a hedge. And he's saying all these bad things that were happening to him. And you know who he was saying did that to him? God. Sometimes God's will in our life, God puts us through the storms. God puts us through the trials. Christ promised us persecution. If you're going to serve me, the world hates me, they're going to hate you so much more. We were with our long-term friends from Bible college in November. We were down in Florida. We got to see our friends after a few years of being away, and they both grew up in Christian families. They both had wonderful lives. They both went to Bible college, got a degree. And while we were talking, while we were fellowshipping with them, the wife told us and admitted to us something that we were so shocked to hear. And they had been through so much. The wife especially had a miscarriage and so many evil things that had happened in her life. She told us, I'm going to admit to you, she said, I no longer believe in God. She said, and if he does exist, he's not a good God. He's an evil God. What did she lose? What did she let go of? What did my parents hold on to that kept them faithful? What did that man that went to prison hold on to that kept him faithful? What did Jeremiah hold on to that kept him faithful? And in the Christian life, in the will of God, if we hold on to ourselves, if we try to do it in our own strength, in our own power, we're going to fall. What do we need to hold on to stay faithful? We come across in Jeremiah chapter 33 and verse 3, we see a very familiar verse. I often pray it. We probably pray it. Jeremiah chapter 33 and verse 3 says, Call unto me, and I will answer thee, and show thee great and mighty things which thou knowest not. We see in Jeremiah chapter 33 that God begins to make promises to Jeremiah. And all throughout the chapter, God's making all these promises. He's saying, the children of Israel, you've been so wicked. You've been so wrong. You've turned your backs on me constantly, nonstop. But he says, I'm going to keep my promises. And when in Jeremiah chapter 33, we see that God says in verse 20, Thus saith the Lord, if ye can break my covenant of the day, and my covenant of the night, and that there should not be day and night in their season, then may also my covenant be broken with David my servant, that he should not have a son to reign upon his throne, and with the Levites the priests my ministers. As the host of heaven cannot be numbered, neither the sand of the sea measured, so will I multiply the seed of David my servant, and the Levites that minister unto me. Moreover, the word of the Lord came to Jeremiah, saying, Considerest thou not what this people have spoken, saying, The two families which the Lord hath chosen, he hath even cast them off. Thus they have despised my people, that they should be no more a nation before them. Thus saith the Lord, if my covenant be not with day and night, and if I have not appointed the ordinances of heaven and earth, then will I cast away the seed of Jacob and David my servant, so that I will not take any of his seed to be rulers over the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, for I will cause their captivity to return and have mercy on them. God said, you can't do anything to break my covenant. And that's what Jeremiah was holding on to. He was holding on to the promises of God. And when we go through unexplainable circumstances, when we go through trials, when we go through storms, and the question is, Lord, why is this happening? What do we need to hold on to? We need to hold on to the promises of God. I found when I go through trials and I seek the Lord and I seek His Word, those are the times that God adds promises to the list. Those are the times where He gives me those promises. Those are the times that He reassures me that we can't control anything, that He's in control. Those are the times that He shows us He's still on the throne. Those are the times that He shows us that He's still doing a work in our life, that He's still active, and those great and mighty things are still happening. What were those great and mighty things in Jeremiah's days? Sometimes we don't see greatness like God sees greatness. His thoughts aren't our thoughts. His ways aren't our ways. And as we look to the promises of God, what are they meant to? The reason why God wanted Jeremiah to buy that piece of property, he says, to show the children of Israel His promise in verse 15 of Jeremiah chapter 32, For thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, houses and fields and vineyards shall be possessed again in this land. He wanted them to know that His promise was sure, that one day you're going to come back, and I'm going to restore you, and I'm going to have mercy on you. And Jeremiah put faith in God's promise to do the impossible thing, to buy that piece of property when everybody else said you're crazy, when everybody else probably laughed at him. He bought that piece of property. He did what God wanted him to do. Why? Because God's promises, God never fails. Because God keeps every single one of His promises. And what are they for? Why do we need to hold on to those promises? When Jeremiah bought that piece of property, verse 11, he says, So I took the evidence of the purchase, both that which was sealed according to the law and custom, and that which was open. And I gave the evidence of the purchase unto Baruch the son of Neriah, the son of Maaseiah, in the sight of Hanamel mine uncle's son, and in the presence of the witnesses that subscribed the book of the purchase, before all the Jews that sat in the court of the prison. The reason why Jeremiah needed to hold on to obey God was because of those that were watching, all the witnesses that were before him, the message that God wanted to get to all the people. And why does God send us through trials? Why does God send us through storms? Why does He want us to hold on to His promises, to be faithful to Him, to be obedient to Him? It's for the sake of those that are watching, the witnesses. You know, this world is watching us. Abraham, God made a promise to him and said, through your seed, all the nations of the earth will be blessed. What does He mean? Through your seed, there's going to come a Messiah. That was the same promise He made to David. There's going to come a Messiah, someone that would lay down His life for the sins of this world, to take the punishment of sin on Himself, Jesus Christ, for the sake of those that are watching, for this whole world. And the reason why we need to stay faithful is because this world is watching us. We like to call our leaders those that are in the White House. Those aren't our leaders. Those are our servants. We're the leaders. God's children are the leaders. And when you look through the Bible, the only reason why God ever destroyed a nation or God ever spared a nation was because of His children. Lot, who was a child of God, decided to live just like everybody else. And he was living a lie. He was living a life of sin. He even was so used to it and so worldly that when the men beat on his door, he offered his own two daughters for them to said, God's going to destroy this whole nation, they laughed at him. And that whole nation was destroyed. His witness was destroyed because he didn't live like a child of God. And we look throughout the Bible, we see Abraham, and Abraham stayed faithful to God. There came a time in Abraham's life, God told him something that didn't make sense. I want you to go offer your son Isaac as a sacrifice. Abraham was faithful and obedient. Why did God want him to do that? As a picture of the Son of God. How God would send his only begotten Son to die on the cross for our sins as that only perfect sacrifice. We look through Jonah, and Jonah, God made him promises, and Jonah tried to fall away from God, and God sent the storm in his life. God sent the well. Why was he doing it? Why? So a nation could be spared. Nineveh could hear the gospel, can repent of their sins, could come back. And so on and so on. Joseph, that went through all these hardships. His brothers threw him in a pit. He was sold into slavery. He went to prison. He was falsely accused. Why did God let all that happen? So a nation could be spared. And why is God letting everything happen in our life? So a nation can be spared. So a world can be spared, so that we can get the gospel out. What's the reason for his promises? In 1 Peter, the Bible says that God is not slack concerning his promises, as some men count slackness. And it says, but he's long-suffering towards usward, that he's not willing that any should perish, but that all should come to repentance. And the Bible, a lot of people forget about that part, long-suffering. God is also suffering. All the evil that happens, it was never in God's will.